My name is Charlie Harding, and I'm an emerging sound maker living in Montreal, Canada, and studying electroacoustic composition at Concordia University. My main mediums revolve around collection and manipulation of field recordings, creative coding, and visual sound. Over the past several years, I have had opportunities to showcase projects and collaborations involving immersive and interactive audiovisual installations at the likes of Flourish Festival in Fredericton, New Brunswick, at Long Winter in Toronto, Ontario, and at ImageFest 2021 in Colombia. A focus of my compositional process is to repurpose materiality through the synthesized output of sonified organic material. Parallel to composition of sound and music, I've recently journeyed towards developing a research creation practice. My current focus spans various artistic disciplines including sound, video, creative coding, computer vision, and more recently, interdisciplinary collaborations with textile artist Emily Blair. It is in this particular collaboration that I'll focus my presentation, as we are very much in the budding phase of our practice, developing etudes and brainstorming new ideas. Through collaborative experimentation, textile artist Emily Blair and I seek to design unified structures within the mediums of weaving, sound composition, and creative computation. So this presentation will focus on the sound practices of myself within this particular collaboration, including a deep dive into two of our most recent experiments. One of the experiments being an exploration into collecting light data to then translate into weaving and then furthermore translate into sound. And then the other was an experimentation in unifying woven structures with sound in a collaborative live digital environment. November 751 to 1721. This was our first attempt at an interdisciplinary collaboration between weaving and sound. The premise was that through the use of an Arduino board and phototransistor, we would capture a day's worth of light data and use that collection as the basis for creating a woven pattern, which would then be sonified in various ways. Our hope was that through this sort of telephoning effect that we might discover some emergent themes through the work that could inform further studies in that area. The result proved to be quite enchanting, as we found that the light data was coded into the weaving in a very distinct way and then was distorted as it passed through mediums into the dimension of sound. The sound you hear now is one of several compositions made with the Weft pattern generated by a day of light in our home. So here I'm using this Arduino board to collect light data through this phototransistor right here. This little silvery LED looking thing. And then it's collecting data from the room, which is being sent into the computer like this. So basically, this is the process of taking the light data text file and converting it into the Weft pattern. So what we do here is I've created this patch and we go to read, and then I take this text file, which is all of the different light data text collected. Then we open it in here, and in here you can see a collection of data. And we'll set this to move at 0.5. So this is going to output basically 500 rows that's based on the data collected. So it goes like this.
So what I'm doing here is inputting the algorithmic weft into ProWeave. Look at my head.
Since the beginning of this project, I have made intentions to observe and understand the practices of my collaborator so that my creative process is directly informed by their work. This effort has been made both ways in our partnership for the purpose of achieving our much desired blending of mediums. This experiment in particular pulled me down a path of appreciation for algorithmic music and tools such as Super Collider and tidal cycles. Through observing the process of a weaver, I am exposed to new understandings of computation that can be set apart from digital constraints. In the end, we were left with this beautiful piece of fabric that represented a day of light in our home. We were also left with a sound composition that, as a sonified piece, served as an echo, diffused, scattered, and chaotic, but no less derived from light and our collaborative efforts. A projection project of audio-driven textiles in motion. The piece was developed through studies of intersections between weaving and sound and how they could be presented consistent with our goal of developing unified structures between them. Similar to the way that a woven piece is derived from an algorithmic pattern, the sound and machine of presentation utilized computational patterns to enmesh the two mediums in a show of bleeps and blinks, revealing a deeper inner complexity. The piece, which debuted live on Twitch at Flourish Festival in 2021, was originally conceived through a brainstorm surrounding the challenges of constructing a completely digital project that would normally have been presented in a physical space. A fortuitous aspect of this creative obstacle was that it actually pushed our creative process in directions that we never could have conceived before. Despite the struggle, the process felt right for our commitment to unification of these mediums. In the end, we were satisfied with the way in which our two art forms were blended. It was as if they were dancing. Through much thought, we eventually decided that it would be fun to attempt some sort of non-linear stop-motion technique. The frame rate was determined by the amplitude of the background soundscapes, and the fading or blinking effect was triggered by the envelope of a simple sine sequencer whose pattern and frequency were also dependent on the amplitude of the background sound. This allowed for a constantly changing yet structured generative piece. We are not sure where this collaboration will lead us, but we are confident that at some point we will be left with a beautiful tapestry of collaborative material that challenges the bounds of our creative processes. It is nice to unveil so many similarities among mediums that, at first glance, may seem completely disconnected. Thank you very much.